stand here as a filmmaker and only as a filmmaker, and on behalf of our entire community, I want to thank Shivendra for this much needed effort in India. I think cinema is the new art form. It's somewhere it encompasses several other art forms, whether it's music, drama, theatre, folk art, everything into one. And especially in India, it being a new form, we went about it like a kid in the candy store. We just went about producing number of them, and we are a lot of times we boast that we make the most number of moving films in the world, but we also happen to be the people who lose the most number of moving films in the world. We lose them as fast as we make them, and this, like Mohan was mentioning, was due to quite a few reasons, but the most important reason was that we didn't know how to preserve it. We didn't know how. We just assumed that it would be there. It was the lack of knowledge, the lack of technology, the lack of awareness, and I don't know if it is of any consolation to know that the rest of the world is also losing its film heritage, but we need to preserve ours, and we need to restore them to the original vision with which it was made, and not just update it, but bring it back as they saw it then. Mohan is a film historian, and he looks at films as from his perspective of wanting to see Gemini Circle how it was then, and wanting to see the beach. But I think films show a little more than that. I think it is a social document, but it's not only the topography, it is about the people. It's about us at various points of time, and it's about our minds more than anything. It's about the filmmaker's mind. When I see a race film today, and when it's restored and I see it, I'm able to connect to it completely. It is not an old film to me, it is something which I can connect to the mind of the man who made the film. And I think that is what is crucial in restoring, and I'm so thankful that you've brought this faculty here, and I thank each one of you for coming here, for helping us to learn how to hold on to it, because it will keep everything that we have produced, every mind that has made a film, connected to the future. So I thank each one of you. I hope the students who learn, actually practice and actually help us. I think you are our saviors for tomorrow. I think all the students who are going to be learning here from these gentlemen, all the films that we have made will be in your hands, and if the original vision can be retained as far as possible, it'd be fantastic. Thank you.
It's very young. We hope in time, as the world's largest producing film nation, we can become the world's largest base for film preservation. It is a dream that should move from real to reality and needs the combined efforts of those within and on the margins of the film industry. Thank you, Deepika. When we announced the workshop in 2016 that our next film preservation and restoration workshop would be in Chennai, many people asked us why. If you have walked around the campus today and seen the many beautiful film stills that have been put all over, I think the question should remain, why didn't we think of doing this earlier in Chennai? The images that you see around you today are from some of the greatest films and actors that India has produced, but who are in danger of being forgotten, as most of these films are either lost or in danger of extinction. I must also mention that the venue of the workshop has a special place in India's cinematic history. We are on the premise of the legendary Prasad Film Studios, established by one of the pioneers of Indian cinema, L.V. Prasad, who acted and directed and produced many classic Indian films Sir Rameshji, I'm still looking for Alamara, where I want to see L.V. Prasad performing in that film. That was the beginning of the talkie, and we are still looking for it. When we walk through his doors and down his hallways, and you look at it, we are truly privileged to have with us the son of the legendary L.V. Prasad, Shri Ramesh Prasad, who's carrying on his father's legacy, founding the Prasad Film Lab. We are in the presence of history today. Many are not aware, even in India, that the Madras film industry was the cradle of the South Indian film industry that numbered many pioneers like Nataraj Mudaliar, L.V. Prasad, A.V. Mayappan, S.S. Vasan, Nagireddy, Chakrapani, who laid the foundation of the renowned Madras studios. India Film Company, Prasad, AVM, Gemini, Vijay Bahani. This is the land of continuous luminaries and superstars. K.S. Subramanian, T.R. Mahalingam, M.K.T., N.S. Krishnan, Karunanidhi, M.G.R., Shivaji Ganesan, Bhanumati, Vijayanti Mala, Saroja Devi, Savitri, K.R. Vijaya, M.S. Subbalakshmi, Jayalalitha, K. Balachandran, Balu Mahendra, Kamal Hassanji, Rajnikantji. The list is endless and goes on to the present day. We have some legendary names on the stage today. Sri Ratnam, whose name will be etched on the pages of Indian film history. But history can only be written if we preserve our film heritage. And sadly, very little remains, not just of the Tamil film heritage, but the entire gamut of the South Indian regional films, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, representing a rich and diverse film legacy. Only one silent film remains of the South Indian film history, and that also Martand Varma, which is a Malayalam silent film. We have lost all 124 silent films made in Tamil industry and 38 documentaries. We have lost all. And we don't have to go back so back. Many films dating from the 80s to the contemporary times are lost. I'm sure if you ask Mani sir, they'll tell you that they've lost their films. Today, the South Indian film industry, which produces 60% of the output of India's film production, and given the fact that we are the largest film producing nation in the world, we are talking about 100 films a year, but who's thinking about the future? This should be declared a national cultural emergency. For the people who are sitting in the stage today are artists, and the work they create is art. Film is an art form that deserves to be preserved and restored as much as any monument or painting. This workshop represents Film Heritage Foundation's continued commitment to spreading awareness about the urgency of preserving our film heritage, as well as training future film archivists.
My father, all his life, loved cinema, nothing else but cinema. And I continue to follow his legacy. And I'm definitely fall in line with him in his, wherever he is, he would be very happy that I'm here now and continuing the support to the cinema. You all know, as a Prasad Film Laboratory is one which was established years back to be the best in film processing. I worked very hard for many years, traveled, attended a lot of conferences. Eventually we achieved that because we happened to win 18 times national award as the best film processing laboratory. But technology has very much changed now. There is no more celluloid film, not as much of course, but we have to get into digital, which we are trying our best once again to be good at it in digital image processing. We heard Mr. Shivendra Singh, who has been so thorough following the film restoration and preservation, which we have come to realize some time back it's very important. And we have started, actually my son Sai Prasad, whom you all know, actually he should have been here, but he is overseas, so I am representing him. I may not be knowing as much as he is involved, committed to go forward. So it is my part of the exercise that we have taken up. Having been in the industry for more than 60 years, having served in all departments, sound, equipments, and film processing, now digital. Things are changing, and we have to necessarily preserve what has been done, captured, processed, and we have to restore it also in some cases. My son succeeded in some of the Oscar-winning films restored, and one of them is participated in Cannes Festival, Red Shoe, I think, if I'm correct. Opening film. That means we have been doing excellent work, worthy to be there in a festival of Cannes. There is no question to what extent we should go further to be able to achieve this particular aspect of film restoration, preservation, which is as important as anything else. I'm sorry to say some of our own films we have lost the negatives. We don't have them anymore. And Mr. Mani also, in one of his, I read his things, lots of his films also are lost. In my career as running lab, many times we have made various attempts to convince the producers, end of the film before the release, to make a dupe. Nobody would do that because they're already exhausted finances. They would never do that. What else can be done? We feel sorry, we ask them to take at least intermediate, etc., but none of them have ever shown interest because they are not able to foresee the future value of that material. Now they are all coming to know now after satellite rights transmission and television. A lot of value is there for them. So one has to consider those as a very important aspect of their film business, financials as such. It's going on, and we found it very difficult to be able to help them once the negatives are become vinegar syndrome they have taken up. Now, when we started a lab, we had the best of storage facilities for negatives, air conditioned, etc. We thought I was very happy because many laboratories did not have air conditioned storage capacity. But however, we could not sustain the negatives in some cases for various reasons, which some of them we know, some of them we don't know why. So it went on, and we are at a stage now, we think it is very appropriate that our Heritage Film Foundation has taken up such a strong steps, effective steps I would call it. Just now he said he must have worked very hard going around the world convincing organizations to support this movement to be able to store the negatives. I do know how difficult it is to get because you don't see any value immediately in this. You see after some years, foresee the value of that, which is very difficult for somebody to understand. But we have to necessarily, Mr. Ratnam would agree, how much he loves to store his material because they are almost like eternal. You remember them, you appreciate them, you might learn so much for now and for the future generations. Like that, many films are there which we have processed. We are happy that we have processed them, and we had the great pleasure of seeing them become a big success and memorable forever. Now, I understand, I didn't know that they have a workshop here. I came, I thought only inauguration of this restoration and preservation, whatever it is. I'm glad this is the third time I believe they are doing it here, and it's a very positive feeling I get that people are coming to realize the importance of preservation and of their negatives, which is most valuable for the years to come. I'm sorry my friend Mr. Kamalasan could not attend due to health reasons, and I also miss Sri Sham Penigal, with whom I am associated in Museum of Indian Films, but of course they have almost finished it, and it's also going to be a place where you'll see all our old films, like my father's or somebody maker. It's very unique. Government of India is spending a lot of money on that. I'm sure it's going to come out very well for the benefit of future generations. Now, what else I could say? Being part of cinema, nothing else but cinema, we'll continue to change, bringing new things. When we started film processing, we started new technologies from it was a subtractive system, then we came to additive system of grading. Then we are the first people to import processing machines at that time. Many things, we are the pioneers, and I had the great pleasure of doing all that for the benefit of cinema. Now we are into digital. It's once again a starting point for us, and we will continue to work with the same amount of zeal, same amount of interest, purely to help the cinema. And we also built a IMAX theatre at Hyderabad, one of the best in the country, and many things we have done for cinema. We continue to enjoy doing that. Bahubali recently we released, and we renovated the entire theatre, and it did tremendous business. These films like Bahubali also brought us into a platform now which is worldwide recognition for Indian film industry. We're very happy about it. So there's nothing much I can add except to say that we are there for the industry, cinema. Whatever you want, whatever new things you require, we are there to understand and support you. We welcome, we want to remain there, what my father designed, continue to serve the future creative filmmakers. Now I also understand students for workshop, they have come from all over the country. Very, very good, very nice to hear that. And I hope you'll have a very good time in terms money you spend or whatever time you spend worthwhile. I do not know whether I can claim that you have all the best of facilities, but we are still trying in that also. We have a film school here. We are also trying to improve upon it from time to time. So this all goes to remember my father, because he never wanted us to do anything else but cinema. So a lot of my friends are here for a number of years. Number of Rajan Singh Bobby is here from Bangalore, and so many. We have been seeing them wonderfully going forward with making the films. So continuing to be part of Indian cinema. Thank you, gentlemen.
Sauntering in so late, but that's that. Take a forensic pathologist or a man who studies the scene of crime. What he needs is the scene to study. An archaeologist needs a site to go and dig. Similarly, film historians need a film to see. Most people think film restoration and film preservation is for the films of M.K. Tyagaraja Bhagavathar and P.U. Chinnappa and stuff like that. No. We have lost a large number of films produced post the MGR era, which is post 70s. In fact, the percentage of films lost is higher in the post 70s era vis-a-vis the earlier part. Yes, Tamil Nadu and the South, because Tamil Nadu was representing the South for quite a while till the mid 70s, you will find that we have been amiss, very lackadaisical about our approach towards the safety and preservation of our films. Even today in the modern era, with digital filmmaking, as Ms. David had suggested, people think that the moment they have a film on their some hard disk, they have preserved it. I am sure the faculty here are going to tell the younger filmmakers today that that is not the end of it. It's probably the beginning of the story. Even digital films, digital photographs. The other day my wife was mentioning, I've got some lovely snaps in the mobile. I said, well, which mobile? Oh. I said, did you upload it to the computer at least? No. What happened? No, but I sold that photograph. Then what did you do? That fellow removed everything from the hard disk. That means he's removed it. It's gone. So, ignorance on the part of the filmmakers, the owners of the copyright, if we can locate them, all these have contributed to the tremendous loss in the post-70s era. To the members of the press, I'd like you to please publicize that films have got to be saved. Why? 12 years ago, I gave a lecture on the city of Madras as seen through the lens of a cinema camera. I showed people shots of the beach road from a 1938 film called Tyagabhumi. No one could recognize the beach. I showed them the present day Gemini Circle before even Gemini started his Gemini studios there.
A short statement from FIAF. This is from the senior administrator, Christophe Dupin, who can't be here, and also from the president of FIAF. And they would like me to convey to all the organisers, lecturers, students and sponsors of the 2017 Film Preservation and Restoration Workshop India, who are present at the opening ceremony, to convey their very best wishes for a workshop which will no doubt be as productive and rewarding as the last two. FIAF's president and I, Christophe says, are very excited about the ongoing partnership with the Film Heritage Foundation on this extraordinary project, which is fast becoming a real model for all the training initiatives we are trying to develop in other parts of the world. Christophe is sorry that he can't be with us today to bring his support to the workshop in person, but we will be on his mind in this coming week. He already is looking forward to making the trip to India for the next and fourth workshop. Finally, he'd like us to thank our friends from Film Archives, FIAF Archives and elsewhere who've made the trip all the way to Chennai to teach the 52 students this week. They will be in good and expert hands. A massive thank you to Tisha and the staff of the Film Heritage Foundation who have put so much energy and love into this event. It's bound to be a big success.